I thought you were about to. Never mind.
Welcome to the ninth episode of Brown Liquor. It's me by myself. That's all there is. Hey, shout out to the lates today, Adanya.
I wasn't late, so
And these are the lates. I break it up, break it up, break it up.
Buddy ain't never on time. I swear to God.
y'all, we literally
I'ma
just had
do
a
better.
15-minute conversation on how she's never on time.
It's really
I'm getting
sad. Like, it's
better.
tragic. I feel like, when we get our good big break in life and, the Lord bless us, she
She ain't gonna
like,
be on time for it.
we will be at a place where we've been rich like a good 3 months and she won't even know it yet. Because she won't be on time for none of the shit. Like, none of it. I also want to get two more things before we start the show officially. How small is Amber's head? Because I could never get a cap over braids on
You
my.
are with the shits today. What is wrong with
My
you?
head is big.
I
Look, I have to open this thing.
What's that, like a 27?
I would literally be holding mine together with fucking tape. Like, I couldn't even get it secured on my regular head. And which blows me because you always see them ladies that had them full lace sew-ins and they wear baseball caps. And I'm like, bitch, ain't braids under there. But they be having them, they be looking so cute and rambunctious. Third thing, did you know that you can pull up to McDonald's and order a burger well done?
Bruh, stop coming for me.
I did not know that. So last night I'm on the phone with Adanya and she pulled up to this place. I don't know where she is at this point. And she's like, yeah, let me get a cheeseburger well done and a large sweet tea. And so I'm like, where the hell is she at? Then the lady like, okay, your total be $4.34. I'm like, where the hell you at ordering a $4 well done burger? Like, usually when you order a well done burger, you at a fine establishment.
Yeah, you at like the steakhouse or something.
Right. So then when she came back with the $4 total, I was like, oh, don't eat that shit. I was over here panicking because I'm like, where you at ordering a well done burger for $4? Like, that's not cool with me. That didn't sit well with my spirit. So I was like fussing the entire time. And
I could not pay for my food because she was going in like the whole time. I don't understand. Like, I really want people to like chime in about this. Like, when I go to McDonald's and I order a cheeseburger, I always want it well done. Like, I want it to sit on there a little extra time so that it's hot enough for like my cheese to melt.
The meat
You do know that they take your patty out that little container and just put it on your bun, right?
This how thick
This
two index card. This how thick the patty is. It don't need to be no more well done. This it.
Ain't enough meat on it. By the time you put it on there, both sides already cooked.
Yeah. And then she gonna have the nerve say, cook it again.
I want it extra crunchy.
So she eating a beef chip with cheese.
That's probably what you should order. Can I get a beef chip?
Beef chip on bun with cheese.
Yeah, add a little ketchup, cheese, lettuce, mayo.
Put all the fixings.
I want it fully loaded, my nigga.
All the way. She eating damn McDonald's. Nachos.
beef nachos.
Beef nacho. Girl, yes. Come on, Amber.
Oh, I thought you was about to say something, so I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay, you know what, y'all?
Don't be quiet. You late.
I was about to introduce you. Okay.
You late.
It's okay.
You don't have to say anything.
We're good.
We're good. All right. So we are going. This week's episode is going to be focused on an interested hot topic, which is, I always say this wrong, called the W.A.P.
It is W.A.P.
It's
W.A.P.
WAP.
I say W.A.P. I say W.A.P.
Because it's spelled WAP. They didn't even spell it right.
We're not even going to get into that, but anyways.
Please don't start coming for them before we start.
The first thing I want to do is share my screen so I can kind of highlight some key points before we get into the quote, because we are going to get into the quote, but I want to introduce kind of where we're going to start our foundation of
it. It ain't a quote, it's a scripture.
Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. Before we get into the scripture, which will be substituted for our quote of today, it's a scripture. Can I say that? We're going to highlight some of the moments of reactions of several people when the W.A.P dropped. Okay, so I'm
WAP.
gonna
It's
share.
spelled WAP.
Yeah,
WAP.
I say it's WAP too, but people always, whatever.
Cardi B says WAP, WAP, WAP. So it's WAP.
Because she can't spell.
She can't even talk either. So let's go ahead and get into that as
Oh
well.
my gosh.
All right, so the first thing I want to show you, y'all see Tammy Roman. She's like one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram. But before we get into that, we need to talk about some of the initial responses before, so that Tammy Roman's response can make sense. Okay, so WAP was released. I'm not going to tell you what it stands for. Well, I can tell you it stands for Wet A Pussy. And
You
That
just go
sounds.
for worship and
it
praise,
was
like for
released by
real.
Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, and it was just talking about a whole lot of. All right, and so here is what James Bradley, who is running for Congress in California, said about Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Okay, they said Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion are what happens when children are raised without God and without a strong father figure. Their new song, The WAP, which I heard accidentally. Now I really disagree with that. But
He
How
anyway,
you
did
hear something for
accidentally.
4 minutes accidentally?
He watched. He
which
watched the
I
whole
heard
video.
accidentally. He was in there watching that thing shake. But anyways, made me want to pour holy water in my ears.
Yeah,
I
baby.
feel sorry for future girls if this is their role model. Secondly, while I personally take offense to the lyrics and messaging of the song, I absolutely respect her First Amendment right to make it. Also surprised that Twitter doesn't mind this kind of free speech, but has a problem with conservative free speech. All right. And then of course
Mm-hmm.
we got some black Twitter went in on his accidentally heard, but it's so amazing. Deanna Lorraine, who ran for election of the United States House of Representatives in California, said this: Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion just set the entire female gender back by 100 years with their disgusting and vile WAP song.
Oh
Remember,
gosh.
Bernie Sanders campaigned with Cardi B. Kamala Harris called her a role model. The Democrats support this trash and depravity. Depravity. I'm not an
Depravity.
English teacher.
Yeah, it's okay.
Um, if if Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion think their Val WAP song did anything to empower women, they are completely wrong. No radio station should play this trash, censored or uncensored. Aside from the content, the actual song is horrible too, and Cardi B cannot rap. And now we're gonna play one video. This is a small little clip. This is from Tammy Roman. She's like one of my favorite people to watch on Instagram. And here's what she had to say if it plays. Wet ass pussy. That big slaps. I'm just gonna that big slaps. Okay. And both of them, was like you said, was riding it. They, sometimes rappers can go against the fucking beat, and then it's just song just is like, oh my god. But this one, you just bobbed the whole time they was riding that shit. Now she's talking about, I feel, context of the song, right? Like what they're actually talking about. This is why you need to stay in your fucking lane, Deanna, because don't nobody look to Cardi B to say no insightful shit. We want to hear Cardi say exactly what the fuck she talking about. Exactly. Okay? You trying to act like Cardi done set women back 100 years.
She has.
Has
Girl,
not.
hip hop has changed. We
To
ain't
what?
had a rapper that was saying something like really, really saying something since Lauryn Hill. Okay.
Period.
Them back in the day. These girls now, they talking about getting that bag, working that pussy, so not to be vulgar with it, but that's what they talking about. City girls is act up, you can get snatched up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what female rappers are rapping about. But when you have somebody like a Rhapsody, and other female rappers that are conscious enough or at least have a different type of message, y'all don't fucking support them. Nope. Wet ass pussy. Oh, I didn't mean to play it again. I'm sorry.
Dang!
But it was a
Oh my
perfect ending.
goodness!
It was a perfect
Wow.
ending. But anyway, Danya, what you think about the song?
Okay, so I have, y'all know I'm very weird of a person, so I have split I have a split decision here. Okay. So on one side, I'm not gonna lie. I know the lyrics. I know the song. I rap it. I got
Let me
that
hear it. Let me
speed
hear it.
Megan
Let me
was
hear it.
spitting.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I know the
I
song.
want you to put that Big Mac truck. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right
Go
in
ahead.
this little garage.
I knew she knew it.
Okay. Okay, so I do know the song, right? Okay. I know the song, okay? I'm not gonna lie. The beat I was definitely rocking with it. Like if the lyrics weren't there, I would still listen to the instrumentals. I was really into what they did there with that. The visuals was dope too. I mean, I'm terrified of snakes, but if they was going with it, that was cool. It was different. It was very different
Take
from
your trooper, Diane. Don't react to that.
I'm not worried about Lisa. It was different than what the videos are. Well, it wasn't different, but they took a different little spin on it. And they was also supporting other black rappers in there. I thought that was dope. Kylie Jenner had her little cat suit on, and I was like, "Go, Kylie!
She's
She
not
just
black.
strutting."
She's not
Black
black.
rapper.
She's not black, but they were supporting other women in the industry. I can go with that.
Why does
And
she
I
Okay.
need
think
Yeah,
that
that
was
yeah.
pretty
for?
cool, huh?
Why does she need support?
Well, a few weeks ago, she was supposed to have been the reason why, Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez had their little squabble. So I thought that was really dope to bring her in to kind of, show ain't no bad blood between no women.
You do know this video is pre-shot Megan.
Oh, was it?
So you really think she put her shot foot in them boots and was doing the
She
thing?
was walking on it after she got shot. I thought she was,
That's a
stallion. She
drama.
bounced
Her
back.
feet hurt.
Okay. Anywho, nonetheless, they still could have cut her out, but they let her stay in there. So, anywho, that's on one side. I think it's dope. I think it's super awesome. I think these women are out here, going against all the negativity, realizing that what people's opinions of them are not paying their bills, and they're still putting out content, and people still love it. They got some awesome content. I mean, they've been trending since they dropped the video. You know what I mean? So, kudos to them. On the other side. Shit. I'm not a fan of the P word. It's just so.
It sounds like it
It
stinks.
sounds super nasty. Yeah,
You
it
can't be
sounds
like, oh,
like.
I got some good PUSSY. Be like, no, it sounds like it smells bad.
Yeah, it's like macaroni in a pot. I can't think. I mean, I'm gonna stop saying the lyrics. I promise I am. But
I'm looking at the lyrics now because I've never heard the whole song.
I got you. If you need me to.
No. I found it on Rap Genius.
Okay, cool.
Shout out to Rap Genius. I know y'all was probably wondering where I find all my lyrics, and it's
Nobody wonders. Okay, Adalia Jr.
that's
The Rap
Adalia.
Genius. RAPGE.
But literally on the opposite end, I'm one of those individuals that is not easily influenced by what other people are doing. So I mean, I think what they're doing is their prerogative. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to do. By all means, that's what y'all want to do. But for Adanya and Nyla and Syra, we ain't talking about no WAPs over here.
Whop your ass
Now
upside the head.
what I can say is that it had came on the radio, and it was like, the intro part, and of course I listen to Hip Hop Nation, so I don't listen to no edited versions. So like they were singing it, and then like before I knew it, Nyla was just like, "It's some boys in this house," and I was like, "Okay, so Nyla, that song is very inappropriate, and you don't
Some
need to
whores
listen
in the
to
house
it."
is the real version.
But Nyla says boys, so she's still very innocent in her in that sense, and I think that was something that I kind of learned from that, because everyone's talking about how they're not role models and how they are influencing our youth to be certain types of ways. Although it does take a community to raise kiddos, I think first and foremost that comes from those parental units, and you just have to control what your children are exposed to as much as you can.
But
and
I
then,
can't because I work 2 jobs.
Some things you cannot control, but also you can also give that that in-depth learning tool. You know what I'm saying? If Nyla heard a song, I'm explaining to her. Look, yo, that's not okay. That's not what women.
Before we dive into that, because you about to take this conversation a whole nother way.
Okay.
Let me give my perspective.
Back.
Yeah, back. Me on WAP. Okay, so I've had a lot of time to process this. Okay, because I'm gonna be honest with you. when I first heard the song and me and Miss Ray had this conversation, I was just like, Cardi B said it's about women empowerment. She's trying to allow.
Oh, she said
Let,
that?
listen, let me talk. Because Miss Ray always
Oh.
had these reactions, okay? And I was like, all right. She said, she just wanted to inspire women to, embrace their sexuality and all that good stuff and blah, 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 blah. So I was just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt on that end, right? And then I really started thinking, like, and this is what we always have to do when stuff comes out into the world is, I started
Process.
thinking about my own purpose in life and what it is that I'm truly like passionate about. And so if you watch this Brown Liquor since the beginning, you will know that I'm super passionate about
let me do it.
Black home.
Restructuring the Black home.
Yes, and creating healthy relationships. And we got to be vigilant and mindful of the content that we are feeding into our children. And so for that particular reason, I can't support the W.A.P song as much as I'm not like, and I'm with you, Diane. Like the beat was, like, I love the beat, and I ain't gonna lie.
Yes,
The
like the beat
was
was hitting.
but
Yes,
it's the same reason why we can't celebrate. It's like the same thing with me and R. Kelly. Like how I feel about R. Kelly. Me and Miss Ray disagree about this all the time.
I was
I
vibing to R.
love
Kelly last
R.
night
Kelly
on my way
music,
back home.
but you can't. It's just like you gotta pick one side, man. And I mean,
we need to have a conversation about R. Kelly because
See, I feel like you can like his music, you know what I'm saying? Because he is a creative genius. I give him that. But you don't have to like R. Kelly as a person. He don't know you and probably don't give a F that you don't support him for real.
But you also can't say that you are an advocate for children in that capacity, but then support a song that's really
we don't know what that man was thinking about when he was singing Butter Love.
I'm talking about Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion now. That's what I'm talking about. He don't say that. That's
Money Love.
That's next.
No,
Nick
he sings
Butter
Give
Love.
Me That Butter Love.
It's Honey Love.
Honey Love. Oh my God.
Edit that part out too.
You can't, to me, you can't advocate for, children, and you just can't. It's just.
Hey, Amber. So what about on the contrary? I'm probably gonna play like both sides of the fence with this today, because what Cardi is saying is that she is trying to get women to embrace who they are.
Mm-hmm. So I gotta do that in the street.
Hold on, let her answer.
No. I don't think that she's telling them to do that in the street. I believe what she is telling them is that she's showing people that ever since Cardi B has been like charting in the industry, a lot of people don't support what she does. A lot of people do, but she has not changed who she is. She still talks about what she wants to talk about. She owns it.
And so that's kind of what Tammy Roman was saying in the clip. Like, we don't expect Cardi B to spit
be anything more than Cardi B.
So, but in the same token, I'm asking you this: in the particular, the state in which Black America is right now, right? Is can we afford that?
Y'all ready for me to say something? Because I feel like
hold on, because I want to answer that. I don't feel like anything. At this point in the state of Black America, we all mad about everything. They literally everything. Nothing is gonna make us happy right now. So
that's not true.
I believe so, sis. We mad about everything. Literally,
they could arrest the killers that killed Breonna Taylor, and I'd be happy. They could arrest the killers that killed Elijah McClain. I'd be happy.
As I said, we're not going to be happy though, because just because they're arrested doesn't mean justice is going to be served.
I mean, they can do a lot of things in that process, but we'd be happy when justice is served. Yes, that would be the start. So I'd be happy. That'd be the start of my smile. It'd just be like.
So let's step back a little bit in this conversation. Do you guys agree with the sentiments of Miss, what's her name, Deanna Lorraine?
I wasn't here for that.
When she
yes,
said
she
that,
was.
Yes, she was. When she said that, she said, "Listen, I'm about to repeat it. I got the quote right here."
Oh, when she said they set us back 100 years.
She said Meg Thee Stallion just set the entire female gender back by 100 years with their discussing and Val W.A.P song.
No.
I don't think she's the person to say that, because I don't believe in inter interracial criticisms. Because if we want to be honest, her generation of people set us back
Period.
many years of due to the enslavement and systematic racism that's still very prevalent in our today's society. So if you really want to break that whole system down, or that whole situation down, if it was not for the fact that we could not get reputable jobs in other places, we wouldn't have had to kind of digress into this whole I'm gonna sell myself because sex sells. Because back in the day, your white husbands and your white slave owners and all these other people just looked at us as sexual organisms, and not even people that had anything other to provide than WAP.
Right.
So if she really wants to criticize them, start with her people first. Don't come over here with that, Karen.
And then talking about some.
But I will agree. I can agree that as a black woman, hearing this from another black woman, I am not excited about it, because at the end of the day, I am so tired of people saying that, well, it's Cardi B. Cardi B's been the same ever since Cardi B got on the scene. Let me tell you one thing about mediocrity. It's a robber and a thief, which is the same thing. But it is a thief of potential. Cardi B has so much charisma. Cardi B has so much natural ability to have the masses follow her, that if she utilized that for something good, if she started rapping about the importance of getting education, or she went back to school, and I'm not talking about Meg went back to school, but I'm just talking about if they started actually living the life that they talk about they do in private, then it would be you would start seeing that shift in the generation. If you keep giving me some, keep giving me something, then at some point, it's just like with my child. I'm trying to teach her how not to be so dang picky right now. Mama start cooking one meal, you gonna go to bed hungry enough days in a row, your ass gonna start eating, because you ain't got no other option. But when you give all these people that are, for lack of a better phrase, mindless, you got a lot of sheep out here. You got a lot of sheep out here.
You say mindless.
You keep giving them, huh?
I don't want to say mindless. I just don't think they have truly found a purpose, a bigger purpose.
Right.
It makes
I mean, a lot
followers.
of people don't know who they are. They're,
Which makes
like,
them
like
followers.
you said, they're followers. Yeah.
So
okay, got you. Yeah.
It's mindless. So I'm just saying, I'm just tired of this acceptance of mediocrity and saying, well, that's just Cardi B. Or segue or side topic is like, well, this is the best we gonna get, so let's just ride with that. Like, no, I'm not fixing to celebrate you because you giving me shit with glitter on it. I'm not gonna say that's acceptable. That's not acceptable for my family. And I do raise my daughter, and I do know that I instill certain principles in her. But I also had the privilege of teaching in South Carolina, and I also saw the dynamic when your bottom outweigh your top, and top being the positively enforced children, the bottom are the negatively enforced children. I also saw what that looked like when it was upside down. So I saw these kids who I knew their parents poured into them every morning. They got them out the car, probably prayed over them, sent them in on their way, kissed them. They had lunch money. They ain't hungry. They little jeans fit. They was ironed up to the T. You know, they might not had on the best Nikes, but they had on Nikes. You know, they had on the you could tell their parents did what they were supposed to do. Their parents still took them school shopping. Because, you know, when the kids go school shopping, they clothes be neat. Their parents gonna get out them school clothes when you get home. Because you got to make that last till, you know, second semester. Because we're going to go school shopping again. But anyway, I saw them kids struggle in the highways, because it was so much negativity around them. So-and-so couldn't class, so why I got to go to class? So-and-so don't get in trouble, so why I'm getting in trouble? So-and-so don't do their homework, they still passing. So I saw how, even though these kids were getting poured into, they would come to school where they were for the majority of their day, and they would struggle. Because 8 hours out the day, they were surrounded by wrongness and negativity and people living.
But when you say when you say where people are being poured into in that sense, part of being poured into is actually encouraging and motivating them to take the road less took.
Right, but it gets difficult when so many people around you are taking the road that everybody want to be on the party bus.
You have to be strong-willed. You don't have
You
to get
talking
on the
about
party bus. You
kids?
can get your
You
ass on
talk
the
about kids? You
train.
talk about kids? Then you talking about kids? You still got to tell them niggas to get up and go to the bathroom at night so they don't piss the bed.
But we got to really figure out, as Black people, what it is that we really want. And
Right.
again,
Yeah,
we have to
that
really
right there.
commit to that, because, like, if we really take a dive at systemic racism, and that's the hot topic,
And
of course,
oppression.
an oppression that a lot of people are talking about. That's the hot topic. You know, we know that this is a system that, as if I can say, we are not mad at the system because, well, let's say this: the system is bad because it was never created for us, right? And so,
Right.
like, it's the system is doing what it was designed to do, to marginalize Black people. Now, with that being said, if we are going to really tackle this issue and really think about systemic racism, we got to think about all the aspects that plays into it. Media is number one. Music is number one. And music is such a big part of Black culture.
It's
It is
extremely,
extremely
yeah.
important. And so once they got into, and this is what I truly believe, honestly, you know, like, we came from slavery just to get back into another form of slavery. And once they realize that, you know, okay, we can't physically do this, we will have to figure out what in the system can we manipulate that's still going to keep them in that box. And then so media, music is one of them. And so if you really think about the history of music, when it first created with Black people, and they were actually talking about a lot of serious issues, things that
Mm-hmm.
meant something, things that were valuable to us. And now to today's world, like Tammy Roman said, we moved into this place where nobody talks about anything, because
Right.
that is what white media is enforcing. That is what they're promoting. That's what they're endorsing. Reality TV, love and hip hop, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I'm just like, and that's why I can't really also, I love Tammy Roman now. Tammy Roman, my dude, I mean, my homie, like, I like her perspective. But she also what's she the part of? Basketball Wives?
Part of
Basketball
Basketball Wives.
Yeah,
Wives.
I don't watch any of that reality TV for this particular reason right here. We have to stop giving images to our daughters and our sons that promotes this, you know,
Negativity.
and marginalizing Black
And
people.
division amongst
Right.
Black
We
people.
have
A
to
lot of
stop.
division because all these reality TV shows, and it's not even Black, it's these Black women, it's us that are constantly at one another's throats. We don't support one
Because there's
another.
not enough room at the table because they told us it was a two-seater, but they invite 12
Well,
people.
Black people are the most creative beings on earth. We can make that shit work.
But
But
you
we
got to
don't own
understand that
that.
when you're operating from a place of you plugged into a larger thing, a lot of Black people don't have that vision. And as we go into this season, people's like, oh, 2020 gonna be lit. 2020 has actually been very lit because it
Extremely.
has
Bitch
given
is
us
still on fire.
it's a lot of perspective. God is doing a lot of revealing a lot of shaking. But I wanted to say this too. I wanted to give y'all this real thing. I'm just put it into perspective really quickly. Y'all are aware of the big six, right?
Media platforms and
Yeah.
people
Yes.
who own
Yeah.
every
Six
channels, and
companies pretty
yeah,
much own every single thing that you watch.
and
Who
they are all
controls
white.
companies? Who controls
White.
companies?
All white.
One MF, right?
I
We
want
don't have that. Let's start there. But we don't have that. One person ultimately controls the direction a company goes into. So you think about this. Let's put this in perspective. Six motherfuckers running around here.
6 people.
She
Motherfuckers
said what she said.
running around here controlling the entire world's media.
But
Six
that's what
people.
Tammy was saying. That's exactly what
Six
Tammy was saying.
people.
She was like, if there's something else that's being rapped about, you know what I'm saying? That's not supported because that's not what people are putting on the forefront. That's not
That's
what's
not
going
what's
to
being put out. But
upload on your timeline.
the more upsetting part of that is that, like Amber said, none of these people are Black. None of these people have our best interests at heart.
Right.
None of these people are really, if you think about it, if you go on a person's album, and for my taste in music, and I listen to something that honestly, I don't even know how Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole got to where they independent. Let me be clear, is Kendrick independent?
I think so.
J.
I know J.
I
Cole.
know J. Cole is.
J. Cole is. I don't. I think Kendrick is.
I
I want to
think
say
so.
yes.
But
I'm not sure.
Otherwise, he still has control over his music and the direction in which he wants to.
who?
And I really want y'all to start putting Black in that category because it really bothers me that
He
you
should really
overlooked
change his
him.
name because I can't remember Six Lack.
His name is Black, and get it straight. It is stylized 6 Lack, but his name is Black, and the only reason why there's a 6 in it because he's from Zone 6 Atlanta. Stop coming for him, Elysia.
I thought he was a gangbanger.
I did too. I thought
Wow.
it was one of the Rolling Hoovers.
This is
Anyway,
our problem right here, y'all.
I'm
I
educated
love
enough to know the
it.
difference now. I know the difference now.
I do too.
I just tell you what I really thought it was. And Black people also got to be mindful of the image that they portraying by name it as Sis Black.
And then gonna have the nerve to tell me to F my 12 years of education and grammar and just see a 6 as a B. Because I saw that 6 Lack all day long.
Y'all. I hate y'all.
My point being is if you go on an artist album that you really like, songs that may be talking about something like Cardi B, I know where she first put out her
Get Up 10. I love that song.
Yeah. Get Up 10.
Get Up 10.
They wouldn't play it. It didn't get played. That's not what they picked.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't the first thing they picked. They were like, I like dollars. I like diamonds. I like fun. I like shining. I like $1 million deals. What's my pet? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those.
Okay, Cardi. Okay. I did have like that Bicky head on it though. That was kind of good.
Oh yeah, that was hitting.
But they don't put the songs out that could be very inspirational. You got to be on some other kind of wave to actually receive. You got to make a whole CD of this shit basically. So
exactly, and that's
like,
another
we
thing.
ain't got no choice but to put this shit out. So here you
Because
go.
what's on all the entertainment platforms is all the stuff that we really don't care to hear about. But if you're not buying these albums, you're not hearing everything else that they got to rap about.
Right. But see, that's the problem because we have to, and that's why I said in the beginning, as Black people, we got to figure out what it is that we really want. And we really got to stick to our guns with that because we can't, even though white media is not endorsing those kinds of hits, we gonna have to support them. You know what I'm saying? Like if we stop buying these albums, if we stop hyping them up, if we stop, whatever, we're going to play this track instead of that one, they're going to have to open their eyes. You know what I'm saying?
We're not going to do that.
But
I mean, but what I'm saying is it will.
We're going to have to really unite and make it a whole movement as opposed to I'm just mad because so-and-so got killed. Like, yeah, I'm upset. I'm devastated. But we got to go out there and stop speaking with forked tongues. Like, look at white, like I just saw this little white lady and it was so adorable. She was doing the whole savage thing on this girl's page, and I'm about to do exactly what I told Amber not to do.
Savage.
We're not going to savage, but it's my point. This is my point. If I can find it,
attitude nasty, talk big, but my
bank account,
but I'm ratchet.
I feel like I'm rolling up on it. I feel like I am. I may not be, but I'm trying my best.
I like the way Meg flow though, but
her flow on WAP was different. I was like, she was totally giving me Yellow Busy vibes.
I liked her cipher she did for XXL. I saved it because I loved her flow. Didn't like the content, but I liked her flow.
I like to hear I like the way she sounds.
But she sounds so masculine.
Like she can also
she looked like she could play like
cold stuff and still sell it the same way. Like she was.
I don't think it works the way for women. Like y'all talking about them, y'all going in on them, but on the flip side, men are rapping about the same thing.
I don't like them either. Shit. I don't like them either. Like people keep using that weak ass argument. Oh, but the niggas said the bitch said the boy said.
No, my nigga, that argument's not weak. It's very factual.
It is weak because nobody's supporting them.
Don't say that facts are weak. That's not okay.
No, but y'all using it in place in the wrong context. No, just because this conversation.
You're not gonna put me in our damn general population. I'm speaking for my damn self.
All I'm saying is y'all using it in the wrong context.
I said don't y'all.
Just because we're saying Meg Thee Stallion
Amber,
R and
mute
B this
her because
time
I'm done
does
talking
No,
about
not
her.
I want to hear
mean
her point.
does not mean that we haven't talked about 2 Chains. It does not mean that we agree with 50 Cent. It does not
Or
mean that we
Future, because
don't
I
agree
can't
with the
stand
other
Future
dudes.
tops to sell.
Right.
It's just so prevalent amongst them that when there's a break in the consistent pattern, then yes, that's the new conversation, and people automatically, oh, so you want to talk about them, but ain't nobody. But it's just that normal chatter. Everybody in the background still talking about future toxicity. Everybody in the background still talking about how toxic these males are. But it's gotten to the point to where it's
It's not no
normal and
everybody in
people
the
are used to
background.
it.
These damn politicians ain't posting shit about 50 Cent and
Because
Future and
again, that
all
was
they
where my
asses.
point. That's where my point was going. I'm finna go ahead and go to her page because
Okay.
I can't find it in my thing. But this was my point, and I don't know if she delete. Oh, there it is. But I'm just have to show y'all this.
But can I say this before you get to your point? That verse was very self-empowering for women. But I'm
Yes,
just go ahead and say that.
Beyonce did that.
She
Okay,
was
anyway.
able to own her sexuality, but that's what Cardi B and Meg didn't do. She was able to own her sexuality, her own womanhood, and be empowered by that song. You know what I'm saying? Like
Period.
I'm a boss. You know what I'm
I
saying? But
do not like the part where she says she on demon time. I don't like that.
yeah, it's
But the
because
rest of the verse,
yeah,
I do.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Okay, but let me tell y'all something. My point being, this is entertainment for them. They
Right.
come outside of their house, and it's like they walk into this little bitty room, and they can do this stuff. But the beautiful part about them is that they get to go into that boardroom, they get to go into their doctor's office, they get to go in their attorney's office, and they're still seen as who they are. When we do it, we're automatically diminished whether we do it or not.
Right.
So the issue then becomes this is an escape for them. This is pure. This is the true definition of what entertainment is supposed to be. I
Right.
am not what I choose to fill my time up with. But for black women, black men, that is not the scenario. You walk out of there, you still a hoe. You walk out of there from shaking your ass, you still ain't got no. Like dude said, you ain't got no mom, you ain't got no dad, and you don't know the Lord. You
And
see what
I
I'm
think they
saying?
know the
So
Lord.
the consequences for us are far too severe for us to continue to play into the hands of these people. And
Right.
back to the argument at hand, I don't care what people got to say about, oh, you don't talk about men. We do, but people get so mute to stuff because what is it, conditioned to hearing it. It's kind of like when your child or children that you steady telling them to not do something, not do something, not do something. They stop fucking listening to you because they know ain't no action coming behind it. So it's just noise at this
Right.
point. I've started to mute you. But then the minute you start talking about 2 women, it's like, oh, the conversation, let's jump on that because they not saying nothing about it. Oh, yes, we have been. Yes, we have been. We've been charging you to say more as black men. We've been charging you to stand up for us. We've been charging you to take y'all fat asses out there on them front lines and
Not
stand at
fat
the front with
asses.
Elijah McCain, Rick Ross, 2 Chains, 50 Cent, all these people that have never touched a protest line in its totality and stood up for the blackness that is. I got a problem with y'all. I do.
No, but it is representing what black music and black media has portrayed. And
Right.
it's like the camel that broke the hay that broke the camel back. It's not necessarily that they're the reason for this whole, um madness that we're going
Wait.
through, right? But it is saying that at some point, especially in a time like this, black people have to be careful at what we're putting out, because if what we're putting out, and we said in the last episode, if what we're putting out is not building a brick that's going to build us up, we don't need to be putting it out.
We ain't got time right now.
Because Miss Ray
But
said,
what
like,
y'all are saying, but that just reverts back to what Amber was saying. We're not on the same page. Black people as a whole, we're not on the same page. There's so
Right.
much
because we're
division.
not
So
fully
how can we
educated.
build something when we ain't even got no damn
But
foundation
that's
yet?
the problem though. I think if we can't get to a place to where we're saying that's why I was saying last show or whenever I said it. But that's why I'm saying if you are exalted into this position to where you have this huge look at this. Take for example, look what we doing. We sit here, we have conversations every week, well articulated education field conversations. We talk about shit that's not necessarily tea conversation, but we talk about things in a way to where the educated person can get something from it, and the person that just likes celebrity gossip can get something from it, or the person that don't generally understand what we talking about, they can still walk away with some sort of education. But look at how many, like, we're in the beginnings of our careers, but look how hard we're having to put in compared to somebody that go to Dr. Miami and get an ass job and then sit on there and show their ass cheeks on TV, on Instagram all day. They getting paid to wear drawers. They getting paid to come outside half-ass naked. So we putting in 30 times of work as somebody that just went and got their body done.
Because I guarantee you, if I posted a picture with all this, we gonna get a little followers. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm saying all that to say, if you're exalted to this level of platform, then you have the intrinsic and just innate responsibility to handle that with care. It is
handle it with
stupid.
care, but then watch how fast they fall.
But it doesn't matter. That means you wasn't up there yet anyways.
I'm about to say, that means, hold on. That means you wasn't aligned with your purpose, because because if I'm in this position of power, I know what my calling is. So that means you was there for yourself in the beginning.
Right.
If it's about the monetary possessions behind it, because let's be clear, that's why Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B decided to do this. This was all a money move. That's all it was.
Of course it was.
That's why they feel so awesome with saying, I think like maybe it was like a year or so ago when Cardi made that Instagram video talking about talking about, I've been eating water all morning. Talking about
eating water.
Yes,
you been eating water?
You eat water. Okay, let me show you. Prime demonstration.
Okay.
Girl, that ain't but spit. You
girl, look like you just had a little spasm in the mouth. Girl.
Yo, because you don't want it to, I don't like for it to just stream all the way back, so I kind of hold it and let a little bit of it go back at a time.
That's ridiculous. Carry on.
Okay. Anywho. So what I was saying, like a few, maybe a year or so ago, maybe even longer, Cardi B made this Instagram live, and she was just like, I'm an entertainer. I'm not here to take care of y'all kids or to be role models for y'all and y'all kids. That's what she said a minute ago. It's been a hot little minute ago.
But you charging me with taking care of your kids. So that the exchange is not fair. The exchange is not fair. Mind you, that when I support you, you able to go out here and buy offset 5,000 goddamn Lamborghinis. But then I'm sitting up here, got to figure out how I'm going to pay for daycare and food in the same week. It's not a problem. But I'm just saying, for the average individual, there are some real decisions that got to be made. But when I support you, I'm supposed to take the trash you giving me. In turn, I'm turning around and supposed to continue to allow you to be a millionaire. And then now, all of a sudden, we're hearing these impassioned pleas about COVID and how they can't go do shows and they can't go do all this stuff. Baby, this is my life every damn day. I don't see you feeling sorry for me. And then on top of that, you're feeding garbage to my family, and I'm supposed to still feel sorry for you. I don't have no sympathy for you because you got more money than I'm probably gonna see in a lifetime if I was to continue doing what I'm doing. But I know God has greater things purpose for me. But at the end of the day, and just to be very clear, my value system is not with monetary gain. Monetary is a positive spillover that comes from being in line with your purpose, because God gonna always make a way. That's that point. But the point being, y'all out here chasing the dollar, which is what he said, money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil.
I was about to say, I mean, I didn't really hear that the video or whatever she said about
it.
It
was whenever she came out with it was some song she came out with, and people was going back
on Bodak Yellow.
But in that moment, like at this point, Black people honestly should have made a choice. If I would have heard that a year ago, you know what I would have said? F Cardi B. Because at the end of the day, if you're not passionate enough about the people or care enough about the people who are feeding into you, who are buying your brand enough to at least have the common decency of saying, I'm going to pour something back into them, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. We ain't got nothing to speak on. If you
But
telling
she's
me
still
that
riding the
I ain't your
truck.
kid's role model, I don't need to do this. Who else they looking at? Who else they listening
Come
to?
on.
Who else
If they
Instagram
wouldn't
page
look
they
at you,
following?
you be regular just like
You
us.
be just like just me and you, right? And that's a problem. And black
Right.
people have to stop endorsing those kinds of people.
Anywho, like we're saying, we're giving black people like this checklist to do shit. Like that's what we're doing right now. But nobody's looking at this list. I mean, there's a handful of us that are, but then the people who actually have platforms and who are actually, the face. I hate to say it, but the face of black people, they not fucked up about what we talking about.
But
They
that's the
not,
problem.
but you know why they not? Because we still got people down here that's still feeding them, and it's just this bottom up model of that our society is built on, where you got poor people providing and paying for wealthy people. That's bullshit.
To
So
F
now,
up our lives.
huh?
To F up our lives. We paying
Right.
them to give us BS. And unfortunately, it all dates back to the particular state of America and the state in which black people are in currently. We just can't afford to endorse and support people who are feeding our children and images that are degrading and hurting and harming them, because we are going to have some 6-year-old talking about she got some WAP. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, where does that come into place? And a lot of people
It's
like to put the
WAP.
charge
Stop calling it
WAP,
WAP.
WAP,
It's
It
WAP it
WAP.
a
should be
WAP,
spelled, and that's
WAP,
another
WAP,
issue.
WAP.
It's not even
Somebody,
spelled properly.
right.
The A has
She need
never
to
been
go
an
back to
I.
school.
You have an O and a P for that.
Making me upset because I know I'm saying it right, but she just ain't saying it right.
He ain't spell it right. Amber, you right.
Shoot, got me
Shit,
upset.
motherfuckers got me over here rethinking my goddamn education. I know I had goddamn A English.
Got
That's
2
my
daggone
baby.
degrees. I know how to say WAP
I
and WAP.
got a whole degree in English.
They got a whole song called WAP. Let me do a WAP, WAP, WAP. That's
That's the
W.O.P.
fuck.
Shoot, don't make me
Shit,
upset.
damn WAP.
Girl, that got me
Well, my
nervous.
papa used to say, I'm gonna whap your ass. I mean, you finna get ass whooping, probably with a cap.
That's why I was confused. But anyways, I'm moving forward from that conversation.
Please, because
But
I
what
gotta
I
go.
am saying is, some 6-year-old gonna walk around saying that, and that's a problem. We love to put the charge on mothers and fathers and families, but we also got to understand that this is all we like we said before. We are in a village. From the people that your child meet, from the people that they watch on TV, all that is connected to the upbringing and the kind of child that you hopefully will have. So we can't, place more responsibility on the parent without acknowledging the images that are being portrayed to us through our television. We have to hold them accountable for the same thing.
Because I
It
shouldn't have
doesn't
to
make
keep
sense.
sit here and not let my child watch TV or not listen to. I got to ride in
Right.
the car and listen to freaking Radio Disney now.
I should be able to turn on my television and know that my baby is going to receive the same qualities, the same characteristics, the same sentiments that I'm trying to instill with them, because we are connected by the same purpose. But that's why I say black people got to make a choice. We got to be accountable and hold these people accountable. Listen, you want to talk about your WAP or WAP, whatever, I'm just ain't going to support it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not.
Just that
Ain't
period.
got to do with that, because it's not going to help me get us to where we need to go. Because now you
It's
ain't
nice
got
entertainment, but
because
it ain't.
now you got black women being less likely to survive childbirth
Yep.
because of the way that we're treated in the hospital systems. But then you turn around and did you know that there were only 5 black neurosurgeons in the world? 5. Which means if they all came to the neurosurgeons conference in Atlanta, Georgia, let's just throw it out there, and they all rode the same Uber, got in a car accident, and everybody died, we would no longer have no black neurosurgeons. So now when my black ass go in the hospital and I need something, I can't get quality care because there's no one looking out for me. That is a problem. Did y'all just see the black doctor that braided the black woman's hair?
Yep.
Yes, that was so sweet.
Because he knew, because he's a girl, that he knew that because of what she was going through, her outcome and how she wouldn't be able to really do that on her own, he took care of her. It brings tears to my eyes. But now we got a generation that don't know nothing about WAP. They don't know nothing but about WAP. They don't know nothing about but sucking cucumbers and licking booty cracks and swiping cards and swiping and eating booty like groceries. So now they're not going to medical school. So now
It's swiping the nose like a card.
I don't care. And so here we are 20 years later, and we really don't have no black doctors. We really don't have no black attorneys that's going to really fight for us. We really don't have nobody in the justice system that's being elevated. So what are we going to do with a community full of WAPs? And ain't nobody out here doing what they supposed to do for
I
us.
tell you what we gonna do. We gonna start holding them accountable. That's what we need to do.
That's what we need to do.
Educate ourselves in that capacity and saying, yes, like here's what I hate about this whole thing. People love to say, well, make sure your child ain't watching this. Put them on restrictions on their phone and all this kind of stuff. But we cannot control every factor of this situation. My baby go to daycare and little Johnny talking about, hey, you got that WAP. I'm gonna have
when
to
them kids get on that damn school bus in the morning, when they get to that cafeteria,
you ain't got no control over nothing.
It's a whole different kid. Like,
I want to say one thing to Amber's point a while ago, because y'all wouldn't let me talk.
My bad.
But
sorry.
I should have. You know how we were talking about, you know, the people having control. When Tammy said that the parents are in charge, but I said that to say we can break that all the way down. But you got mama out here, she worked too. Like Tammy said, her mama worked 3 jobs. Her mama had to come home and whoop her ass at 11 o'clock at night. She couldn't.
Well, she was talking about Lauryn Hill. Yeah. Nadine, her mama. Nadine.
Miss Nadine couldn't even come home at lunchtime and whoop her baby ass. She had to go and come home at 11 o'clock and whoop her baby ass. But on the flip side, Tammy was blessed enough to grow up in a time saying social media, saying cellular devices. It don't sound like Nadine had cable. So she was looking at PBS and watching Arthur, which was fine at the time.
And I did too. And I think I came up pretty okay.
I did
you
too.
Did.
Cable was not a constant in my house. But let me be very clear. Today, mama still working them same 3 jobs. The kids at home on their cell phones. The kids at home watching cable. The kids at home outside on YouTube.
That damn YouTube.
They at home doing everything under the sun because now mama ain't at the house. And then I said, flip this back to me being a single mom working in South Carolina. I had no familial support in South Carolina. So that means if my daughter had been school age and not daycare age, my baby would have been at home by herself till I got off from work at school at 4 o'clock that I was able to go home. The earliest I could go home, and don't let me have to do no planning or grading for the next day. So 9 times out of 10, my baby's daycare closed at 6. I pull it up at 5:45 smoking because I'm trying to get my baby and she the only one in there.
Right.
Okay. But at the same time, had she been school age, she would have been at home or, doing things that I don't know what the fuck she doing. But now you saying I'm a bad parent.
Because I gotta work to feed my baby.
I gotta work and provide for my child. You see what I'm saying? That's not fair to say. That was not a fair sentiment because we got a lot of mamas out here that bust their asses and a lot of daddies that bust their asses and they doing the best they can to keep the lights on and keep these kids laying in some sort of comfort. Because it terrifies me to think of my daughter growing up after I've done all this grooming and making sure that she have the right way, know the right way to go, and somebody dusty ass son come and say some ignorant shit to my kid that either hurts her feelings or she think that's her boyfriend and they end up doing everything under the sun. That it terrifies me. I got a huge problem now. We talking about self-empowering, and Cardi B and Meg talking about some self-empowerment and how they owning their sexuality and how when they do when so-and-so hit them, they gonna be up and they gonna do all this, that they got them going crazy. But then we got Meg, they got shot in the feet. And she surprised.
She mad at somebody shot in the feet and she don't endorse that. This is what her WAP do. This is what my WAP do. It make you go crazy. It make you want to do this and that. Now that I shot you in the foot, you upset with me because you promised me.
With her feet kicked up and like, look what they WAP do. Just feet just everywhere.
Now you mad at me because it did exactly what you said it was going to do?
It was going to cause all these problems. Now you got the problems and you want me to be upset for you.
So what she did not say it was going to cause problems. It said it was going to get her everything that she wanted.
And that she come with a price. So that's what I'm saying. We don't think about the gravity of the stuff that we speak over ourselves. But then you turn around sitting on the camera crying with your makeup done and your nice little hair flip, telling me some y'all making jokes out of me, and I really did go through something. I really endured something. Ma'am, you said that.
You
I
asked
am
since
not
the
going to
beginning of your
support that
career.
mockery of her trauma. That is not okay.
I'm not saying this to minimize her trauma, but in true Tammy
I thought it
fashion,
was a really good.
what I am gonna say is you don't advertise something that ain't true. So if you advertise that you got the good WAP and it's gonna make me go crazy, don't get mad when it makes me go crazy. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You know, it's like it's just like 2 + 2 = 4. If that's what it's equal to every time, I'm gonna add 2 to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna,
But I'm perplexed.
I'm just, it is what it is in that capacity. But I am not
It's
making if she was traumatized, she was traumatized. But what Megan Thee Stallion also has to realize is in that trauma, she has to figure out who she's going to be.
Yeah,
But
because then
yet, after that trauma, you still come out and put out your WAP gonna do this and that and the third.
preach yourself
Why?
some. Preach yourself some. So now
Because
she got the kneecaps. I want to hear no shit. I want to hear no shit. I'm gonna flood her DMs like Boosie flood Mark Zuckerberg about getting his account back. I'm gonna flood her shit. I'm like, don't say shit else. Don't say another motherfucker. I'm gonna be like Pinky on God Dog Friday. Shut up. Shut the. Don't you say another motherfucking word. Don't you say shit else. Cause your dumb ass sitting up here talking about what you can and cannot achieve with your vagina. But here you want me to be proud of you because you going to college.
what it still goes back to what Miss Ray said in her previous point. We can't look at this as pure entertainment because we don't get to walk away from it in our everyday lives. We don't
right.
get to indulge in whatever. We don't get to indulge in that era or aura of music and then go back to our regular life and be like, oh, you know what, she's still a good, wholesome person. No, because the system whites, they look at us and still see that she ratchet, she don't got
We
no
accept
class,
you.
she uneducated. We can belittle her.
Yes, what
We can
Alicia said.
We're
Exceptions.
always
I
an
hate
exception,
that.
and that's not
Exception.
fair.
Yeah,
We don't get to participate in entertainment. I'm not saying it's correct, but it's a reality of where we are.
right,
And especially at this
right.
critical moment in our existence as Black people and trying to build something that's going to further the culture, we can't afford to have nobody out here shaking their vagina. We just cannot. We cannot. I didn't think it was cute when Lil Kim did it.
Like Alicia, girl, when you speak, honey, it just speaks so much life into me. You really do. You just have a way of explaining stuff that's just like so deep. You're just so gifted with that voice of yours. I still don't like your ass, but you have a very,
It
very
was
Oh,
almost
powerful
a
way of
that
speaking.
moment was short lived. It was a very short lived moment.
I was over here starting to get nervous because I ain't used to compliments, but then it just snapped me right
It just
back, and I'm back on it now. I'm
that's,
good.
that's it for the year, boo. Just wrap it
Like,
up.
I mean, she
Merry
really
Christmas.
does
You ain't getting
have
no
a
more.
way of like, you have such a way of like conveying like so much. You just have so much power in your voice. And
So let's talk about the wife of of noble character.
Come on.
Okay,
okay.
this is from Proverbs 31. I'm going to read verses 10 through 21.
You gonna read the whole verse because the whole verse
10 through
getting deep
31.
at the end, and we
10
gonna
through
wrap this
31.
on up.
Yeah, 10 through 31. So bear with me, Brown Liquor, as we read this. Okay. Whew. It says, who can find a virtuous and capable wife? She is more precious than rubies. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life.
Come on.
She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She is like a merchant ship, bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare for her household. So, Carter, you do need to cook and plan the days for her servant girls. She goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She is energetic, strong, a hard worker. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns light into the night. Her hands are busy spinning thread. Her fingers twisting fiber, she extends a helping hand to the poor and open her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. She makes her own bedspreads. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. Her husband is well known at the city gates, where he sits with other civic leaders. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. She is clothed in strength. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive. She does not last.
Come on.
But a woman who fears the Lord will greatly be praised. Reward for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise.
Let me just clear something up real quick for the ratchets in the back. This scripture is in no way saying that you should be your servant. It's no way saying that you should carry the weight of the world. One thing when you read the Bible is that you got to understand that there was context. You got to understand the context in which the scriptures are written. So while these things seem very old and antiquated to you because people read the Bible as if it's flat, but the Bible itself says it's a living document, so it lends itself to evolution. I'm not going to go all the way down into that. But what I am going to say is that this basically sum it all up per the context of the situation it was written in. It said that anything a woman gets is multiplied.
I was about to say, when she
Yes.
said she
That's
plant
what
those
that
things
means.
and make a vineyard,
Yes.
something small and made
And
it
turn it
into
into
something
something great.
big.
Brought it
So
to life.
Brought it
so
to
we
life. So
Symbolic
can't
that's the
life.
job
speak.
of a woman. So I don't
Right.
want nobody that's listening to this. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm not gonna do all that because I ain't got time to do all that. That's not what they telling you to do. It's just saying that anything that I give you, you need to make it that time some because that's your job as a helpmate. Now let me clear up one more little thing. It said that a husband sits with the civic leaders, but let me tell you what you're supposed to do as a wife. People get it so confused that as a woman, oh, I'm supposed to take care of my husband and be the dutiful wife and take care of the home. Yes, the fuck you are. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because your husband is supposed to be a provider. He gonna go out there in that world and he gonna fight against all these odds and evils and ins and outs. And when he comes to his kingdom, his home, you supposed to have that shit laid because he's out there. You don't gotta go out there and deal with it. So let me ask you something, because all the single mamas in the front. You come on now. You much rather have somebody out there doing this work for you than you having to do it. Then you come home and still run your home like this woman in this scripture because now you're
And
doing
the
a
shit
job of
still
two.
gotta be laid with two
Come on.
badass
So
kids running around.
now she got the job of two. When one is supposed to do one thing and the other is supposed to do the other. It's not my fault. It's not this Bible fault. It's not her fault. This woman's fault that you went out here and chose you an outfit when you really wanted to rustle. Come on now. So let's not make this about what the scriptures say because you can. It's context and it's an old document. But it still lives and it still breathes. And so all the things she said, I don't think the scripture is saying, point A, is that a woman goes out there and she make it do what it do with little and always come back with a lot. And I don't want y'all to have no extra added pressure because it's in you. God gave it to you already. We can do it. Anybody ever had beanie weenies and spaghetti? What is that with the weenie and the spaghetti meat?
Why would you put a weenie in some?
I'm just saying,
We
you
don't
know
do
your
that.
mama can make some meals out of nothing.
She ain't never made that shit.
I'm just saying she may not have made that, but I'm just saying your mama can make some meals out of nothing. Halloween roll around, you got a costume out of nothing. The lights stayed on. Mama made it do what it do because that's her gifting. There's certain things that women are gifted with just because we're a woman. Okay. And my next point is when you take care of your household, it's gonna take care of you. And we got to get out all that. I don't subscribe to gender roles, baby. It's some things I know how to change the time, but it don't mean I want to go out here and do it.
Oh, girl.
Okay.
I know how to.
So y'all got to snap up out of that. You got to put order back into our homes, and that's gonna come with order. Because, like Amber was saying, you got to make a decision. But and again, Amber's favorite thing, we got to rebuild a black home. Okay, I'm with it.
Stop saying it like that.
Don't
Say
say
it,
that.
Amber.
That is
Say
how
it,
I mean it.
Amber.
I mean it. We have to.
No, we have to. But
Yes.
that comes with getting back in line with our purpose and our order. We are
And making sure it's aligned with God's purpose.
in line with
Yes,
God, because God's the God of order. I can't be out here telling you I'm not going to cook and clean for my kids, but I still want you to go out here and do what you're supposed to do as a man. It don't work like that. I don't mind being a helpmate if the person if my mate is doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
I'm on it. So let's just have that clear. I wanted to throw that out there because I don't need people like, oh, look at that. Look at this stuff they propagating. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It'll help you out because now you're out here buying your son out of Georgia by your damn self.
Oh, I was just gonna say I have like some C-list artists that actually don't rap about, you know, their goods or like shooting people, killing people. That
But let's
actually
not call
rap
them
with like,
C-list.
Don't call them
but
C-list.
they are C-list
But
though.
let's just call them artists.
Let's call them artists.
Okay, so they are artists. Okay. So there's one. He's one of my favorite. Caleb Colossal. So he's so dope. He's from Atlanta.
You don't gotta give a bio because we already like an hour and 30 minutes into the show.
Okay. So Caleb Colossal is so dope. Then we got D Smoke. He is extremely talented. Like, dude can rap in Spanish and English, and he's black. Dope. These are all black artists, by the way. And then there's this female. Her name is London B. She is also from Atlanta, and she's super, super dope. And she does not constantly rap about her goods.
Because she rap about it sometimes, because I saw her on Rhythm and Flow. But
she
anyways,
does. But she's dope. She's dope.
And you can't forget about the great Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Like, what do we?
I said C-list. We're talking about new upcoming.
No.
People,
They're artists. They're artists. Artists.
Well, if that's the case, the number one artist is black. Let's not start this shit, okay?
What I'm trying to say, I'm not putting them on a spectrum. I'm saying those are some great artists that you just listed, but let's also not forget about J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar.
Because they're the same genre.
Black, because they speak about the same type of empowerment that we're trying to endorse. Nobody was criticizing you.
Is Black single? Because I feel like we gonna hop in his DMs. I feel like the Power 3.
Black is not single. He has a beautiful daughter with his lady, and they're engaged. He's
Chance the Rapper. Let's put Chance out there.
Chance.
I love Chance. I love Chance.
He's dope. He's dope.
This is leading to our wrap up for today. So ladies, in a matter of 30 seconds, because I don't feel like listening through all the show. Ladies, in a matter of 30 seconds, give us your tips on takeaways that you want Brown Liquor to take away from this particular episode. Who's going first?
Lady Lisa go first. She gonna talk for 30 minutes.
You know what? I'm sick of your shit. Because your ass be the main one up there giving a dissertation every time. And then I say what I got to say, but then I'm the one talking all the time. You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm going to turn off the recording, but I got something for your ass. Anyway, this is what I got to say real quick, y'all. I think, they say be the change you want to see. Honestly, start with the man in the mirror. I mean, it seems daunting, and we got to get out of this whole habit of wanting things really quickly and being this microwave society. We got to start wanting to put the work back in it, because the Bible says a man that don't work, he won't eat. It says study to show thyself approved. I mean, there are all these other things in the Bible that says you got to do the work. We got to do the work to be the change and see the change that we want, because otherwise, I mean, we're gonna continue walking down this road bitching about it, but really having no solution. And that's one thing I hate, is for somebody to keep telling me what the problem is, but you ain't offering me no solution. So you can't tell me on one side, oh, I think this is really problematic that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion had this song, but then when you drive off from my house, that's the first thing I hear when you pulling out my yard. Like, there's a problem for me. So
Guilty.
I need for you to make a clear draw line. I've noticed as me, I don't even hardly listen to anything past like the early 2000s no more.
Yeah,
and people be like, "Hey, you heard such and such," and I have to say no. But I used to be so much of a music head, like I was always on top of the current songs, but I cannot say that no more. And it's only because I'm not in agreement with it, and I just cannot be, and I don't want that for my daughter. So a lot of my all my TVs are on children's channels, and we only listen to like.
And that's the end of your 30 seconds. Adanya.
Lady song.
Actually, that was 5 minutes. Honestly, I just think that we all need to do some deep soul searching. Like, we really need to figure out who we are as an individual, and what exactly are we standing for, what our purpose is. Because it's so easy to get lost in the hype right now. Like, the wave is high. Like, the tide is cleaning everything out. So that's really it. You know, you just really need to be who you are and be very, very confident and strong willed in it. That's all I got.
That was about 30 seconds. I get it. I get all
Okay.
that. All right. But yeah, I mean, my sentiments are kind of the same as both of those who have spoke before me. Definitely be the change you want to see and align yourself with that purpose. Because like I said in the beginning of the show, we had to make a choice as Black people. And, you know, we carry this weight. And one of the things that we really didn't speak on a lot is that, and me and Miss Ray kind of had this conversation before when we talked about, you know, some of us can listen to the song and have that, what is it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Have the discipline to, or have the maturity to know that this is just purely entertainment.
Right.
Unfortunately, our children are not in that state. Some adults are not even in that state. And
Mm-mm.
so we have to really be mindful of the people that we are endorsing and promoting. So we definitely have to make a choice on what line of defense we want to stay on, you know. And with that, we have to move forward because we need change to make its way, and we have to be the change that we want to see happen. You know, they're not going to take us seriously unless we take ourselves seriously, and so we have to
Yes.
stand in that faith
That right
and
there.
in that moment. But that's about all I got for you guys. You
Justice
know,
for Breonna Taylor and
it's
Elijah
been
McClain.
168.
It's been 5 months.
Okay,
A
that's a lot
minute.
of time.
And ain't nobody been
Um,
arrested. Nobody.
yeah. So justice for Breonna Taylor to the day that we can't speak no more. You know, hopefully it will come in fruition because it's just ridiculous and we love our sister and it's just a tragedy that didn't have to occur. And so with that being said, Brown Liquor, thank you for tuning in to the 9th episode of Brown Liquor. We love y'all. Keep
We're gonna have to
liking,
stop
keep
saying
sharing,
numbers.
keep promoting,
Keep
keep doing
supporting
all that
us. We
stuff.
love it. We are
Don't just
so
watch
very
it,
grateful.
share it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be the change that we want to see. It starts with all of us. So this message hit you in any kind of way, even if it was one sentence, share it, like it, do all that good stuff. We love y'all. Till next time. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Do, 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 do,
Bye.
do.